Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
Very special show tonight, people. It is the show before episode 400. I'm throwing it down right now. We have no idea what we're doing next week for our
400th anniversary episode.
If
anybody has any ideas, please let us know.
Please. You don't got a lot of time. As you listen to this on Friday, you better reach out to us.
And if you know somebody famous that you could help us get on the show, we're not beyond doing that. Let us know. We'll send you something even.
Yeah.
I almost thought I did go through the cameos to see if there's somebody that we could maybe
who can we pay to be on the
interview
show?
Or have them send something. There's a lot of freaking people on there. It's crazy how many people.
We know people that know people. Somebody should help us out.
I rode by my neighbor's house again tonight. I didn't see him out there, but
I would absolutely interview him.
I'm not sure that is the interview we want, but
why don't you put up signs around the neighborhood that say, party for middle-aged women, Friday at 8 p.m. Roofies provided, and see if he shows up.
Yep.
We could have a whole episode about what it's like behind bars.
Yep. So I was actually thinking, we have a fake block party. Just leave a little invite in his mailbox. And
do you think they served him Jello pudding pops?
I don't know.
Or any Jello.
I don't know.
Or any Jello of any kind.
How freaking ironic. They have to serve Jello in prison.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And you know that there were people that were literally throwing Jello at him in prison.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
People were throwing stuff at him like they did to Clarice in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
You know what that is.
Yeah.
And if you haven't figured out by now who Todd's neighbor is, shame on you.
Recently incarcerated celebrity lives very close to me. Is actually 3 houses away from me and 2 miles. Or actually,
not recently incarcerated. Recently released.
Recently released. He lives.
Yes.
He's 3 houses
Probably
from me, but that's a mile and a half.
Unjustly released, but
it
morally unjustly released.
When you're rich, you have a different justice system. That's how it works.
I guess so. But
hey, 2 guys were accused of the same thing. One guy went to jail. The other guy got to be president. So it's how things work.
Not our current president.
No, not our current president.
No, not at all.
Yep.
Although I just read that the current president was just added to the Hall of Presidents attraction in Disney.
They have a Joe Biden. Got rid of that.
No, it's still there.
No, I saw it. I saw it when Trump was there. Oh, God, the animatronic Trump is so much better than the real one.
More lifelike? Are you saying more lifelike?
More intelligent and intelligible. I wonder if they were just dying to get someone who wasn't him
person
in there.
TV?
Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's go random. Todd's going to lead us off with some very exciting Melissa McCarthy news.
Oh, okay, yes.
Right? There's a sequel to Ghostbusters.
There is not a sequel to that Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
There's a new trailer out. There's a new trailer out for Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I believe we've all seen it at this point.
I've seen it.
I got chills
a couple times. It's awesome.
I will say, I was talking to Barry about this the other day. I think my level of excitement went from 40% to about 75, 80%. It was just conceptually, I was a little worried about the kids. No.
We had seen a teaser before, and some of the same footage even, but they added more to it.
This one was so much more exciting.
Yeah,
I was hair on the back of my neck stood up.
Oh, just like I said, I love the ghost trap on wheels. But seeing the hearse back in action again, or the ambulance, whatever it was previously, awesome, just awesome.
And I would say there's also a 15-minute breakdown of the trailer done by Jason Reitman, where he breaks down every scene and talks about why they made some of the choices they made, and
that's awesome. I gotta watch that.
It's really good, and I enjoyed it. I mean, he literally freeze frames on things and points things out.
Oh, really?
That's talks cool. About why they wanted to do so much with practical effects, and like the scene when the Ecto-1 is going through the cornfield, which he said is actually a barley field, but he said like they wanted to do that practically, and so they put a Corvette engine in that thing so that they could get it to go as fast as it did. But it was totally worth watching for 15 minutes. He talks about the little Stay Puft guys. He talks about everything, and I don't know if you guys. I would imagine you guys realized who that is at the very end, but he said that they even recreated that bookstore.
Oh, sure.
From like
I used to
every
watch
little
that
detail.
5 times in the trailer. I went back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah. So he said that they recreated that bookstore down to every little detail. So
they got YouTube knuckleheads doing this with trailers. It's so much better to have the director of the actual movie do it.
Oh my God, that's why I watched it. Normally I don't care about those things, but this was actually the director of the movie talking about it and breaking it down, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about like, okay, we'll forget about the 2016 one that ever happened, but here's a property, beloved property, number 9 on our top list or higher, I don't remember. And then you're like, okay, who's going to be in it? And you know, when you see Paul Rudd, there's such a comfort to be like someone who's awesome like Paul Rudd to be in it. They could have put a lot of people in there that you would be like, but I think you put Paul Rudd anywhere, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, it just, like I said, it felt good. It felt that they laid out how it was put together, what the Ecto one was doing, where we saw it in the original teaser. You know, it's seeing Annie Potts in there was great. It's.
I love how the girl looks like Egon.
Yeah,
she really does.
I was thinking about, by the way, he even talks about the way that they created the original Terror Dogs and how they recreated their motion, and they looked at the running of the bulls to see how the bulls would like slip as they're running through the streets and fall down, and all like it's really like they really put a lot of thought into it. You get that just from watching this.
Yeah,
it makes me like excited to see when the Blu-ray comes out, to see like all the behind the scenes stuff, because it's going to probably be amazing.
Because they're clearly thinking about all these things. And,
yes,
and this is one of the things that, like, you can take a classic property like this and be extraordinarily respectful of it. And everything we've seen so far is extremely respectful of this, which was not previously the case. And
it comes out in November. Do we know the date?
I can look it up while we talk about something else.
I do not know. No.
I mean, it'd be great if we could see it while we're all together in Rhode Island. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Oh, that would be good.
But I bet it's too early. We're there too. I bet it's later in November.
No. So.
Oh, well, on the internet it still says June 11th, 2021, so that's not right.
That's not happening.
I'm thinking that's not going to happen. So.
Well, we'll see.
Yep.
Well, Barry, what do you got?
Well, now I'm looking up the.
Oh, you want me to go? I'll go.
So I just had a follow-up to that.
I forgot. Yes.
So this frickin' drives me crazy. But, you know, they were very careful about not showing certain things in that trailer. Even things that we know will appear in the movie, they did not show, like characters. And then yesterday, Hasbro released photos of the Ghostbusters action figures that they're making for the movie, which included 3 original members of the team. There's 3 surviving original members of the team in full Ghostbusters gear. And it's just like, why do you need to do, you know, why is it necessary at this point to spoil something like that when, like I said, it's such a beautifully created trailer that holds things back, doesn't, you know, that does everything a trailer's supposed to do, and then
why would they do
toy reveal?
Haven't they learned
reveal gives
anything?
away. I mean, like, we didn't know we were going to get all 3 people back. I mean,
they kind of announced it back a year ago when they were making the movie, but.
Yeah.
Bill Murray was still like, what is he doing? Is he alive? Is he dead? What's the story with Bill Murray?
That's what I'm saying, but to have them...
This is Anakin's arm all over again.
It's totally
Jason Reitman even talks
over.
about that in that 15-minute video where he said that, you know, to him this is more than just a movie that he's directing. It's his family's legacy, and he's really trying to take it very seriously. He said that they're purposely not releasing a lot of information. Like he was talking about how they were holding back, so it is a little odd that the licensee would do that.
Yeah. Just sloppy. Just sloppy.
So it's November 11th. So it's like 4 days after we're at Rhode Island Comic Con.
All right, we'll stay in Rhode Island for an extra 4 days.
Something else in the 11th. Is that okay?
I don't know. It's 9 days before my birthday.
Something else drops in the 11th.
Really?
Might be something Marvel.
We'll figure that out.
That may be the first movie I go into the theater.
Yeah,
to
me
see.
too.
Well, unless we're in massive lockdown.
Right,
Again. Thanks, Texas. And Florida.
All right, I'm going to jump in with a topic. Do you remember when the Luke Skywalker episode of Mandalorian came out, and immediately there was a guy on YouTube who did a better version of Luke Skywalker's face, and then when they had, he also did the Grand Moff Tarkin stuff from Rogue One. Well, that guy's YouTube handle is Shamook. He has now officially been hired by Lucasfilm and ILM.
Good for him. I saw
they
that.
realized that he knew how to do this better than they did, and they hired him. I just thought that was awesome.
That's awesome.
Good for him.
Yeah, he announced it on his social media that, or it might have been on a YouTube video that he had been quiet. He hadn't been releasing videos in a while
somewhere
because he actually got hired and now he's working there. So good for him.
That's cool.
Eternals is November 5th and Top Gun is November 19th. So gonna. Yep.
I'll remain quiet.
What's number 5th?
Eternals.
Ugh.
Hopefully, I can watch that on Disney Plus.
That we could see in Rhode Island. We'll all fall asleep. Wait, is it? When is? I'll check that out.
After I'm talking. No, it's 5th to 7th, Rhode Island Comic Con.
Oh, okay. I've got. So we talked about the spoilers. Hey, it's spoiler us, so too bad. So Ben Affleck is in The Flash,
as Batman.
And I'm putting a picture in the Dropbox. No, not in the Dropbox. In text, they have pictures of him on his Bat cycle.
Yep.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. There were 2 pictures out here.
Yeah, I assumed that wasn't the Michael Keaton Batman riding that cycle.
No, there's pictures of him in his costume, which is sort of armored, a little different, and then on the cycle, which is pretty cool. So maybe that movie will be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting.
2 more Batmans in him. He really did. So
I think it'll be interesting. Whether it'll be good is another question, but interesting is definitely. I'll agree with that.
The best thing to come out of those movies was Ben Affleck, and no one ever expected that. Not that he's not good in other stuff, but
Yeah. No, like I said, I think a real pure older Batman film would have been interesting.
Yeah.
So
I got one other quick, and I'll pull a Todd, and just keep going. Rob Zombie is making a movie reboot of The Munsters.
That could be good.
I think that's I think they're in pre-production. They're literally building the Munster house. They showed blueprints and stuff. They're building it from the ground up. I think it's interesting. So I'm like, I wonder who's in it. That's an interesting casting. So his wife is playing Lily, who's in like all his movies, which is fine. She's a nice blonde woman. I'm like, who should play Fred? Or not Fred, Herman.
Herman.
Who should play Fred Gwynn?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I know I'm putting you on the spot. I have one thought.
That's tough because it's not. You've got to be the right size. You've got to be the right sort of. They can do prosthetics to change anybody's look.
Oh God, what's his name?
I know who I think.
Yes. Bobby. What's his name?
The person I'm thinking of is probably a little too old, but I'm thinking the guy that played Dwight in The Office could pull it off.
Rainn Wilson? I don't know.
Okay, he's only 6'2", but Bobby Cannavale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was thinking Vince Vaughn.
He could totally do that.
Well, Vince Vaughn's got the height for sure.
He's 6'5".
Yeah.
He's the right age because this woman's playing Lily
and he's got the comedic
50.
chops, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he would do it. But that could be pretty funny.
Yeah, he might be a better choice than Rainn Wilson. I think Rainn Wilson is just very unique and odd.
He doesn't got the right. Yeah.
It's almost. I mean, it should be an A-lister. Then who plays Grandpa? Then Jon Favreau can play Grandpa.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, good on him for making it a movie. And I mean, I would think the obvious choice would be go like limited series, 10 episode. But
they've done a series already. Was it the 90s?
Yeah, but that was awful.
The dude who. I know the guys. Oh, he was in one of the Star Treks. John Shook.
He could totally do Herman Munster.
He's not tall enough.
No, he's 6'2". He's on like 6 foot blocks.
They're going to put lifts on whoever.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
I mean,
yeah, but Fred Gwynn was like 6'5" or something, wasn't he? So Grandpa was really tall too, in real life.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, I've been to his restaurant. He had a restaurant downtown in the city. It was actually really good. We had gone a couple times in college. Jeez. But he was like 6'2" himself.
Fred Gwynn was 6'5". Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to in the early days listening to Howard Stern. He used to have Al on all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
He had a Italian restaurant called Grandpa's. Anyway, who's got more? Barry, you have more? Todd, you have anything else?
More.
I got a couple more, so let me go, and then Todd can go. So I read this the other day. Apparently, a screenwriter named Georgia Pritchett, who wrote Veep and The Shrink Next Door, revealed in an article or an interview that she's working on a Galaxy Quest series for Amazon, and Simon Pegg is attached to it. She didn't say anything more about it other than that it's a TV series and that Simon Pegg is attached. But that's the only detail she revealed. But I thought this was kind of dead once Alan Rickman died. So
I think Simon Pegg has to be in every science fiction franchise somehow. So
it was Tim Allen. I mean, he's not doing much. He should be in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's going to be on Amazon, then they've got the money to spend to get.
It's going to be Galaxy Quest: The Next Generation.
And then, oh my God, they should do that.
That would be pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I know Alan Rickman, but if you don't do it with all those people, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, Todd, you want to go, and then I'll throw my last one in.
So my last thing was there's a trailer out for Adult Swim's Blade Runner Black Lotus animated series. Also.
Black Lotus.
Yeah. It I think it looks good.
It looks like a video game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does. I mean, I think it looks like enhanced sort of like Clone Wars animation. I think there's much more detail to it. I think the environments, I will say, the environments look great.
The environments look great. The people looked a little weird.
The people look weird, and there's not enough people.
Yeah, the people look like Grand Theft Auto to me.
The people in the streets don't look crowded enough. But the environments look great. I'm definitely going to watch this, and it's from a replicant standpoint. And it
looked a little interesting.
I think it's going to be good. And so this takes place before the most recent film.
It's in between the two.
Yeah, and I
think it's 10 years before. It's 2030.
Yeah, 2039 or 31, something like that. And 2033. And,
so it's right in the middle,
character that Jared Leto played in Blade Runner 2049 is in this, played by somebody else.
Oh, he is? Interesting.
But there's an interesting, like I said, there's interesting cast, and Peyton List and Josh Duhamel and
which Peyton List, the good one or the bad one?
I do not know that. It doesn't say.
The one of them is at
the whole
Rhode
freaking
Island,
cast
not the one we want.
of Cobra Kai is going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con.
We want the Romulan Peyton List.
Yeah, we do want the Romulan Peyton List.
We totally want the Romulan Peyton List.
And but anyways, yeah, it's quite a cast, and it looks interesting, and I will definitely check that out. So
yeah,
Barry, what do you got?
The last thing I was just going to throw out, I think this just got announced today, but there's going to be a MythBusters charity auction, and it's for the Grant Imahara Steam Foundation. So I think Adam Savage and Jamie are like pulling out props and blueprints and art and behind the scenes.
You think Jamie's involved at all? I doubt it. He doesn't get involved.
I would say Jamie might be involved from donating stuff, but I don't. Yeah. Adam will be the face of it. But it's August 20th to September 1st. I mean, I certainly don't feel like I need to own that giant shark that they had, but like it could be cool to see what they put up, and if there's some little token that might not go for crazy money, it might be
a roll of duct tape.
Yeah, something like that would be great.
I know for a fact Adam has about 50 rolls of duct tape in his attic. I would love a roll of duct tape from Mythbusters.
Yeah, signed by Adam would be great. So yeah. I think it's great that they're doing it for Grant and his charity. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that poor guy.
Yeah,
passed away way too young.
Yep.
Okay. Going from the down story to an up tempo. It's a
positive story because it's a charity auction.
Yeah, I know. But Fanboy Collectibles.
Sorry, weird segue.
No, it's all good.
Barry, what do you think? Like a 2 on that one?
Oh yeah, no, I totally messed up his transition. But yes, Fanboy Collectibles, we love them.
We love them. 3016 scale Storm Shadow. So here's back to a company who makes 1/6 scale figures, doesn't even make their own characters.
Made 1/6 scale figures, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it does look awesome. Check that out.
How about pioneered the 1/6 scale figure? But
that's right,
exactly.
Yes.
And 30 makes nice stuff. So
they do
check
make
that
very
out.
nice stuff. And this is a. I guess I had the same reaction to it was like, this should be a Hasbro thing, but this is going to be nicer. It is
going to be way nicer.
The detail on these things are great.
That's not their milieu to make high detailed stuff. Gentle Giant's got a bunch of Star Wars busts. Iron Studios got a bunch of Star Wars stuff like an IG-11 and Grogu, as well as a 1/6 scale, not 1/6 scale, quarter scale Grogu on that little dome thing from Iron Studios. So check all that stuff out. Plus, what do they have? I don't know. Pops and sideshows and Kotobukias. Throw something out. Anyone?
They got everything. They got a really awesome looking mummy statue from Universal Monsters that I was eyeing up myself. So
there you go.
Pretty much anything you're into, geek wise or toy wise or collectible wise, they've got it.
They've got it. Check them out. Fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out in store in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them the Regular Joe sent you. All right, what are we doing next? Are we doing What's in the Box?
Sure.
Yes, we're doing What's in the Box.
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Todd.
Okay.
What's in the box?
So this is something from it's a little thing I just picked up from my prop cabinet or prop replica cabinet. I have bought one of these before, but I haven't been happy with it. It is
Raptor Claw.
It's a Raptor Claw. And this one is sized much more accurate to the Alan Grant one, and it's the right shape. I bought one at I think New York Comic-Con, and it just was a little too thick and it wasn't the right texture. This they did a really good job of making it look like it's petrified, and it will stand up either like this or like that, which is what I wanted in the case. It's a good little replica. I actually ordered it through Amazon. I looked at a couple different ones, and I'm happy with it. It wasn't too expensive, but like I said, it's a very good representation, and and it's pretty accurate to the screen pictures I've looked at. So
cool.
That's that.
Dave, what do you got?
So I am wearing, it could be a shirt up, but we're not doing shirt up. I texted you guys. This is one of the Moonshot Tiki shirts. Moonshot's a t-shirt company, and they make a ton of shirts of actual tiki bars that are no longer in business.
Oh, cool.
And this is one called Moon Islander in Titusville, Florida. It's in view of the vehicle assembly building.
Ooh.
That's cool.
At NASA. That's why I got it. And
did the astronauts used to hang out
and
there?
The astronauts used to hang out there a lot. So it was like 2 miles away, but they could see the VAB, and so that's why I got it. There's a bunch of cool ones. I wasn't sure how the quality was, and I just texted you a picture of the other. I got 2 of them, and this is the one. What made me start looking for this? So I was watching Bosch, and Bosch was wearing this T-shirt of an old tiki bar that used to be in Beverly Hills. And I'm like, that's cool. Well, that's a little weird that he's wearing that. And then that's how I stumbled upon Moonshot t-shirts.
I have bought at least one shirt from them before. I know I get emails from them every week, so I know I bought something from them.
Yeah. They're not cheap, and I don't like to spend that much, but the t-shirt is super soft. The cut is great. So not only do they have Tiki Bar, they probably have 100 Tiki Bar shirts. And the cool thing, they're all real places that are, I think, all of them are out of business. But they have a ton of 80s, 90s, 70s movies and TV shirts. I got to look at those. So I was really happy with the cut and the fit and the softness of the shirt. So I'll buy more from them. But that, and I know Daryl was looking into buying some too, because
that's cool.
Daryl loves him a Tiki Bar.
He loves him a Tiki Bar. There just isn't enough Tiki Bars anymore. So that's it was in a bag, but it came in the mail.
Okay.
Barry, what do you got?
I have recently received a couple of Hot Toys that I pre-ordered. It feels like 1.5 to 2 years ago, so it's great that they're finally showing up. I'm going to do 2 quick ones. So the first one is one that we've joked about on this show many times, but I finally got my IG-11 Hot Toys figure.
He's dead. I don't know why you have him.
He is dead, but there's a statue of him on that planet. So, I never had the Sideshow did an IG-88 figure a couple of years back, and I never bought that. But they did a fantastic job on this thing.
That's a great looking figure.
I mean, he's incredibly posable. He's a combination of plastic and die cast. He's got you can take the top of his head off, and there's lights inside that light up all the little little things in his head. There's an interchangeable chest plate. I have the one with the bomb in it, but it's cool. It just pops out, and it's just got a magnet on the back that holds this in.
Nice.
So if you want to turn the bomb on, it's very easy to do that because it's just a little switch on the back of this. Or you can just put the regular chest plate in. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of accessories. There's no extra hands. There's no extra anything. He comes with two blasters. But he's very posable, and he looks great standing next to Mando. So I am still glad I bought it, even though
I would be too. That's a good looking figure.
We were questioning, when I bought it before in the middle of season 1, and then by the end of season 1 we knew he died. I'm like, oh, what did I buy it for? But
we thought he died before. I mean, even before then.
That's true. Right.
I'm still not convinced he's not coming back as IG-12 or something.
Yeah, we may see him again. The other one I got, which I probably ordered around the same time, but I am even more excited about, is the Biker Scout. Finally got a Biker Scout from this. They say it's from Mandalorian, but it's no different.
Jason Sudeikis head?
This is probably the Jason Sudeikis one. It doesn't say even Mandalorian on the plate. It just says Star Wars Scout Trooper, so it could be from any movie. What is interesting, and I didn't discover this until I got him, in Mandalorian, they had the knee protectors upside down from the way they were in Return of the Jedi. And this came shipped with them upside down, but you can easily take the boots off and flip them, which I did, because that's the way they're supposed to look from Return of the Jedi.
So you think someone in the show was wearing them improperly?
They were. I went back and looked at screen caps from the show, and they had them on upside down in the show, and that's the way Hot Toys made the figure.
That's funny.
The show, but...
now, is he like dusty looking? Do I see dust on the top?
Totally. If you look at his boots, they're all dirty, and he's got a lot of dirt on the chest armor.
So this is really this is more a Mando figure than a.
But the Biker Scouts on Endor were pretty dirty too. If you look at them.
Were they really?
Yeah. I've got so many variations of Stormtroopers from the original trilogy and from Rogue One and from some of the other movies. They had not released a Biker Scout yet, and
That's
I've
crazy.
got a Snow Trooper. So now the only thing I think we're waiting on is like an AT-AT driver and a TIE Fighter pilot, and we'll have all the original troop variations from the first 3 movies. But
didn't they release a Biker Scout bike?
They did. They released
with no Biker Scout?
No, it was the same figure, but it comes with. You can either order it with the bike or without.
And with the bike, you get the little pouch with that one?
Yeah, I think you get the little pouch to put Baby Yoda in.
Oh, well, this is the one that came with the bike. I thought they had previously released
No, that was Sideshow. Sideshow did one. Sideshow released a bike probably 5 years ago, and now Hot Toys just released a bike. But I don't really have the display space for a bike, so if I do, but it would take up too much space. So, But I'm really, I mean, as you know, I love Troopers, and they did a great job on him. Again, there's not a lot of accessories. He's got one gun, a couple of hands, that's it. But they nailed it. It looks great. So I'm super happy with this guy. So those are
can
my
make
two.
those guns. Did Master Replicas ever make that gun?
No. Nobody's officially made it.
3D print those or something.
I think EFX announced it and took people's money for it. And
what's the base gun in that?
I don't think it is. It's just
I think it's
tiny
a
little
custom
gun.
made thing. Yeah, it's not it is a very small gun.
Yeah.
But it's a cool. I've always liked the design of the Biker Scout.
Soldering thing or something like this. There's got to be a base thing to it.
It looks like the small gun that they carried on Buck Rogers. Remember that?
Yeah. I mean, it's meant to go in the ankle holster, so it is small.
It does look. You know what it looks like? It does look like there's a soldering iron that it does look like.
I've seen a soldering iron.
He can only get two
It's a
fingers.
really expensive one.
I've seen a soldering iron with that grip on the front.
Yeah.
Or not.
He can only
grip,
get
like
two fingers into
guard.
the grip. It's not even a full hand inside the guard.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. I got to look at
I'm sure if it's made from something, it's online.
Visual Dictionary.
I'm sure the recipe is online if it's
I'm
found
sure
parts.
it is.
But anyway, I was thrilled to get them. They came on the same day, so it was a good day from Fanboy.
Cool.
There you go. Okay, so that sort of does or does not lead us into a topic that Barry suggested. One, you explain it, Barry.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of over the years. There have been a lot of figures that have been released, and then at some point in time, whether it's a year or a couple of years later, they release a newer version, a better version, an upgraded version, and it kind of we started sort of talking and texting about it, and it just kind of got me thinking, like, at what point do you upgrade? Or do you upgrade? Or do you collect multiple versions of the same figure? And I think that some people do all of those things. Hot Toys recently announced a bunch of new figures that are duplicates of figures that they've already made or newer versions. So I thought it was a good time to have that conversation. I think one example, they just announced recently that they're doing an Iron Man Mark 1 diecast. They've released two versions of Iron Man Mark 1 up till this point. First one was good, second one was better. Now they're coming out with the diecast version, which are usually kind of the definitive version, which is good because, you know, the second version has been going for crazy money on the secondary market. So
the first version goes for crazy money.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that the collectors who never were able to get one are going to have an option to get one.
It was actually the first Hot Toys figure that I pre-ordered. It was that one. And
didn't you buy it at New York Comic Con?
No, not that one. No. That and the Mark III were the first two Hot Toys figures I pre-ordered, and this came before the Mark III. So this is I believe the fourth figure, Iron Man figure that's been re-released as a die-cast version. The Mark II and III were done previously. The Mark V was not long ago, and now is actually in a re-release. But everything else has been, you know, that they've made one version of it or more.
But we've even talked about, you know, again, back to Mandalorian season 1. They announced the first version of Mandalorian, and everybody that wanted one went crazy pre-ordering it. And by the end of the first season, they had already announced the second version. So, like, people had... You didn't have the option to wait to see, they're going to release more than one version. Let me see which one I want. Within that first season, only 8 episodes, they released 2 versions. Now they've just announced...
His outfit drastically changed, though. There was a significant difference between the...
And the second one came with Baby Yoda versus the first one. But then for season 3, they just announced what I think is probably the definitive version, because you've got the head sculpt under the helmet, and you've got the helmet, so you can do it either way.
Season 2, you mean? That's the conclusion of season 2 version.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean,
but if you only need one version of the Mandalorian,
something different for season 3.
Yeah, but if you're a collector who only needs one representation of that character, this is a question: do you upgrade to that version if you already have a previous version, or do you just buy the new one and keep them all, or, you know?
I think if you have the second one,
you have quite a few figures that you have more than one version of.
Oh, I have a lot of figures. I have more, but if you have the second one, I think you're perfectly fine. If you don't have the second one, the third one's very, very appealing. I don't know if I would display that figure without the helmet.
What if you have the first one and the second one? I don't know anybody who might, but what if you have both the first two versions? Then what do you do?
That's the topic then. So Todd and I have version 2.
Yep.
Yes.
Barry has version 1 and 2.
Yep.
Right? So what are you going to do?
I'm not sure yet. So just as an added additional piece to that conversation, they also announced that Grogu set that I pre-ordered because I didn't realize that when my second version of Mando came, he actually comes with 2 Grogus. Yeah. So I actually didn't need to order that 3-pack of Grogus. Now they've just announced another 2-pack of Grogus that is coming out with a bunch of extra accessories. He's got that rock that he sits on. He's got the egg canister that he was eating the eggs out of.
Grogu for Hot Toys is like the gift that keeps on giving, as is Mandalorian. There are more Mandalorian figures than any other subset of any franchise, I think, with the exception of Iron Man. I think there might be more Iron Man figures or Iron Man related figures, but it's gonna pass it soon.
Well, if you add up all the other Star Wars figures, they're more than Mando. But I think they're probably up to 30 Mandalorian figures.
But likewise, if you add up all the Marvel figures. But what I'm saying is, Iron Man and related characters, meaning the bad guys, Pepper Potts, all these kind of related figures, the Obadiah Stane, there are more, but Mando will pass that next year.
You're saying Mando and all his surrounding
and everything branded everything branded as Mandalorian versus branded as Star Wars. Star Wars Mandalorian versus Star Wars.
Oh well,
it's crazy how many figures they've squeezed out of that.
There were a bunch from season 1. Season 2, they've gone hog wild. Every Mandalorian character that's been in that show, they're releasing a figure for.
Just keep waiting for my Cara Dune figure.
They just announced Cobb Vanth. They just announced Fennec Shan. They just announced the Casca Reeves Mando character, the Super Battle Droid. Like I said, the Grogu, and I don't know if you saw this. They've got a Navarro Safe House diorama that they're releasing.
Yeah.
That you can stand your figures in front of.
Was that shown, or is that because I got to say, there's a crap load of Hot Toys figures in limbo right now that they have shown Comic-Con and have just never gone forward.
No, that's a whole separate conversation. They did Sideshow Con, which was a 7-day long online where they had Sideshow had a showroom and they brought cameras in every day. They literally did an hour-long video. It's on YouTube showing all of these figures in detail, and they showed the diorama too.
Right. What I'm saying is if you go on the Sideshow site and you look at the things where you can't pre-order them, but you can register your interest in them, there are things going back 3+ years.
Oh, no, I know. There's a number of things.
Those most recent things, including that playset, are listed the same way. So they're not pre-ordered.
I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah.
But none of these things that I just said are up for pre-order yet.
All right, that is a completely different topic.
Yes.
The question at hand is, so let's take Mando. To me, if I had Mando version 1 only, I would probably go for 3, number 3, and get rid of the first one. I don't feel like I need version 1, 2, and 3,
or
keep version 1,
right,
and also get 3.
Yeah.
I have 2. I don't really feel like I need to go back to 1, and I'm sort of, do I really need version 3? I would like the Pedro Pascal head, which is pretty cool, but.
Well, the interesting thing is what was so nice about version 2 is it had Grogu in the little carrier and it was floating. And you get rid of that version to get version 3, you're giving that up.
Right. The other thing I think about is the version 2 armor is identical, or version 3 is pretty much identical to version 2. What are we going to see in season 3? Is there going to be something in season 3 that differentiates it?
I don't think his armor is going to change.
He could finish it.
It's almost complete.
But I'm saying he could complete it, or there could be something else. So, I I don't know. I can't see the logic to owning 2 and 3. I could see buying 3 when you don't have 2.
I could go 1, yeah. So, yeah. But what other things?
Well, see, I think something near and dear to Todd's heart is Black Widow figures, right? So they just
but that's
also
a separate
announced
thing. That's almost like I have all the Black Widow figures, and
but most people don't. Most people have a Black Widow figure or maybe 2 versions.
Yeah.
And they just announced 2 new versions, right? There's the black costume one and the white costume one. Most people will pick
both of which I pre-ordered. Yeah,
right. Most people will pick their favorite, but so we top. Dave and I know you kept them all, and I'm just curious why did you feel the need to have them all?
So I will say I upgraded. I sold my first one. I sold the Iron Man 2 one, which is not great. And when I got the Avengers one, which I like a lot, and then the Winter Soldier one was really, really good, and I got that. But I only, for the longest time, displayed one of them. I had that figure was probably in the Cap figure was probably in the box longer than any other figure I've had. And then I don't know what caused me to buy the next one, but I did. And it was that big batch of figures that I bought from that guy, the guy that closed up a shop. And I picked up another one, and then it was like, well, I got half of them. I do this. It's almost like the micro collection thing where it's like you're so close to having them all. I will never have all the Iron Man figures. I have 12. I have a couple more pre-ordered, but it's you with Stormtroopers though, Barry. You've got.
Well, I think of it. It's more like me and Luke Skywalker. I have 6 or 7.
Okay, so that's a better example. But it's kind of neat to see a progression of the character through 8 figures, and there has been a progression in the 10 to 11 years with that character. So
but up until the white outfit version, every version of Black Widow is her in a tight black jumpsuit. They are all almost the same.
Oh, they are not. There's significant differences between all of them. You're talking about my children here.
We're talking more upgrades. I feel like Hot Toys is now at the point where figures are different. They're not necessarily better anymore. They used to be.
I will agree with that. And
so
I will say
I've upgraded.
They will occasionally. Here's a good example. The very first Hot Toys figure I bought was the Luke Skywalker Bespin 2-pack.
Sure.
And the head sculpt on that's fine. It actually looks really good, but they will eventually release a better version of that where they nail the head sculpt.
Barry, that is one of the ones that's been in the pre-order thing and the not pre-order in the register your interest thing on Sideshow for over a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know Sideshow has shown at conventions over the years lots of figures that they never released, but
right.
I mean, some that I actually really wanted them to release too, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it just feels
upgraded.
Like...
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, there are figures that I consider upgrade, but like every one of the Lukes that I have is from a different movie or a different scene in a movie,
That's a different thing.
Costume,
same
right.
with Black Widows and same with Iron Mans. Like, I am upgrade. I originally had all the Sideshow, the old Sideshows that were pretty good, $50, $60. I have slowly upgraded all those to Hot Toys. That's a different
that
animal.
Makes sense, but like it's Thor as an example. I still have the first movie Thor. They've released a bunch of Thor since then. I haven't felt the need to get and the faces on them look better than the one I have. I haven't felt the need to upgrade and
unless there's a big change.
Okay,
I'm sort of a representative figure guy. I don't have multiples of much.
I am similarly, Dave, and I will say
no, you're not.
What's
at all?
What? Most of the figures
except
characters
for
that I have
12 Iron Mans and 9 Black Widows.
But most of the figures that I have are represented by one figure.
Because there's no room for anything else.
Well, there's that. I also have all the rockets. But anyways, so I have a problem. Okay, so
well, listen. The first step towards solving your problem is admitting it.
And I probably would have all the Captain Marvels too, but Hawkeye, I upgraded, okay, and swapped the old one out. Thor, I upgraded. I'm trying to think of somebody else that.
Did you upgrade or did you keep both? on
No,
Thor?
Thor. I sold my first Thor.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I still have to sell my Ultron, Age of Ultron Hawkeye, but I will sell that. I haven't had a case for a while. I actually bought the Avengers one, which is weird because I actually went to a previous one, but I got one of those when it came up, and I always liked that one better. I'm trying to think if there's any other figure that I've changed. I have 2 Spider-Man figures, but I feel the Iron Spider figure is almost a different character. It's so significantly different than the Homecoming Spider-Man.
I wanted a Spider-Man, and I had that Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
And I'm selling that one because I got the Iron Spider.
Right.
I feel like I would get another one. Maybe
I thought about getting the Night Monkey because I feel like then I've got one from each of the 3 principal appearances. But
and Boba Fett's a good example for me. I have the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett with the Sarlacc Pit diorama. And they've released a couple of Boba Fett since then. They even released one that was sort of the everything all in one box Boba Fett, where you could make them Empire version or Jedi version, and I didn't feel the need to upgrade. And then they announced all the Boba Fett figures for Mandalorian.
That's a different Boba Fett,
and it is a different Boba Fett. And I really did hold out quite a bit on not ordering one of those until they released the one with the throne in, and I had to really order it. But
yeah, I will. I mean, if I think of stuff on pre-order, like. I have the new Scarlet Witch on pre-order. I don't think I would get rid of the old one.
If I got the new Scarlet Witch, I would get rid of mine. But I feel good with the one I have, even though it's a couple of versions
okay,
back.
let me know when you want to get rid of that one, Barry. Then I would have all 3.
See, we're having like an intervention for people who can't admit they
have a problem. Yeah, I understand.
But I think the core question, though, goes back to if you get a figure or a version of a figure, and they put out a better version, it sounds like none of us necessarily feel compelled to
I think if they put out a better version of the same figure, I would. Like, what am I not happy
I have upgraded two of my Iron Man figures. I have upgraded I have sold the original one that I bought and upgraded to the die-cast one.
That's a good example. Like, I have one Iron Man, which I'm not super happy with, and I know it's from Todd's least favorite movie, Iron Man 2, which is also is in the back of my head. But I bought the Endgame Iron Man, and I'm not happy with that at all. The scale is
that's
awful.
Because the scale is off on that. I still don't understand that.
I don't want to keep that.
That one, and I didn't keep mine. I think
I would like to upgrade that to a better representative Iron Man.
What's weird about that one, and I still don't understand it, is I have other die-cast Iron Man figures, and they're not out of scale. Why that one happens to be so out of scale, I don't understand.
It is just the Infinity War and Endgame ones that are out of scale.
But that's like that to me, the Endgame, I guess Infinity War 2, but Endgame Iron Man is incredibly representative if you want to have one Iron Man. And that one I'm not happy with at all.
And I bought that to go with Thanos, and now I've got Thanos coming, and I already sold that die-cast Iron Man. Because I wanted to have that as my representative.
I have Rescue coming, and I will put the 2 of those figures together. So
I feel like no one's bitching about it.
I hope Rescue is not out of scale, too. I mean, I said I hope Rescue figure's not out of scale.
I bet it's in scale with the Iron Man figure.
Why would they make it so?
I still don't understand
like
that.
That's a mistake.
But it's interesting, Dave. It seems to bother us more than everybody else because, like, I'll see people with pictures of their Iron Man collection, and there's one figure that's a head taller than every other one, and they don't even comment on it.
Maybe if you have just a bunch of Iron Mans lined up, but in my display case, I've got the Avengers. I got the whole Marvel crew, and it looked ridiculous. I mean, I tried posing it in a bunch of different ways. I tried posing him on his knees. I tried posing him. I guess maybe flying, but I wanted him for the Tony Stark head sculpt. I didn't want him for the helmet.
But I'm saying I was thinking about that. It's about the only thing you can do is flying, but even kneeling, he was
almost as tall as my other figures when he was kneeling.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I wanted him with the Endgame Captain America, which we haven't gotten yet.
Right, but then that's going to be the problem. Endgame Captain America is going to be normal size.
That's why I don't want him. I wanted those 2 together as here's my Endgame thing.
It is an odd thing because they have been. If you look at if you look at the female figures, they've done an extremely good job of having them in scale to each other. Like if you look at like Nebula and Gamora, okay, they're proportionate height to each other.
Oh yeah, even my Maria Hill figure is a different height than my Black Widow figure.
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man is shorter than all the other guys. I think their height proportions have been very, very good up until that figure, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's odd.
I'm hoping they make another one or something different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
or I mean, maybe if they make a non-diecast version, or they do something different.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
because I'll get that.
So Todd, you have Iron Man Mark 1. Are you pre-ordering the diecast? Are you going to replace the one you have?
One.
And are you going to keep them both? Or are you going to?
I gotta say, I love this figure, and I know, like I said, it's worth crazy money right now, but I'm not going to sell it till I get the other one, and I might not even sell it then. But it's like I have the diecast. I upgraded the diecast version of the 3. I bought the diecast version of the 2, which is a gorgeous figure. I mean, it's just that raw metal in the diecast is just, is beautiful. And yeah.
I'm excited for it because to me that cave scene when he comes out of that cave is, I think, the most iconic thing in that whole first movie.
And the other thing too is I bought it retail 12 years ago. Okay. I didn't pay that much for that thing. Okay. It's not like it's a $500 figure when I bought it. So I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of having it. Like I said, if it goes back in the box, I'm okay with that. I have one Hulkbuster. I never considered buying the second one.
I would hope not.
It's a problem.
I mean, when I got a New Hope Vader, and then when they came out with Empire Vader, I got Empire Vader, and I didn't consider that an upgrade because to me, I just have them in different areas of my display. I've got them posed with different figures, and
this discussion doesn't really work for us.
I think no, but you know what? Okay, I would say for me, it's like a connecting point. Okay, I have one Iron Man 2 figure. It's not even out of the box. Okay, the only actual figure in my case from Iron Man 2 is Black Widow. Okay, but I love the other movies, and in fact, that's what it's like. I have very few Star Wars figures compared to you guys. Okay, I think I've got 6, 7, 8. Okay, if you count, maybe 9. Okay, 2 of them are Luke Skywalker. Okay, it's a connection thing, and it's like I should maybe look at it as completing the set or whatever, but I absolutely love the Guardians movies. I have all the Guardians figures, so there's I think there may be
in the Luke's like I have Farm Boy Luke, I have pre-ordered Snowspeeder Luke. And if they come out with Jedi Luke again, I would definitely get it.
I bought the Sideshow Jedi different. Luke because it really looks a lot like the Luke from Mando, and that's how I've got it. I've got him actually holding Grogu. So it's I mean, and that's where I connect with that. It's not with the third film. It's the Mando thing. That was when I bought that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Farm Boy Luke. I've got the Bespin 2-pack. I've got Luke in a Stormtrooper costume. I've got Luke from Return of the Jedi. I've got Luke from Force Awakens. I've got is that all my Lukes? Yeah, and then I've got the Snowspeeder one on order. I've got 6 Han Solo figures. I've got 4 Leia figures, but they're all different.
Yeah, and I've got a bunch of Batman figures, but they're all like different Batman actors. I don't have any 2 of the same person.
See, that's totally different to me because there's been so many Batmans.
And that's what I'm saying. These are different incarnations. I got one Superman. I got one Wonder Woman. I will soon have a second Wonder Woman.
You do upgrade? Let's put Hot Toys aside. What is there anything you upgrade? Collecting wise, like I bought a cheap headpiece to the staff of Ra, not really knowing a lot about it, and I'm like, and then when I saw it, I'm like, then I started looking for a better one. Those sort of the people who make them. Yeah, there you go.
I just upgraded my. When you get it and you're not happy with it, that. I bought a couple statues where I was like, yeah, this doesn't represent the character as well as I think it should, and then I find one that does. So yeah, I've only got a dozen statues, and I think I've probably, cycled out 3 so far. So.
Back when I was hardcore collecting the vintage G.I. Joe stuff from the 70s, it's not that they would release a better version, it's that I found one in better condition.
Yeah, same here.
That kind of upgrading I would do.
And I would also, like I say, I was never going to be a completist on that, and I got things and had it, and I was like, this, never had this as a kid, doesn't mean anything to me, and then I trade it and get something else. But particularly vintage stuff.
I've got the same affliction for Stormtroopers that Todd has for Iron Man figures. I've got so many variations, and I don't even have them all. I mean, Hot Toys has released a bunch that I've just been like, nope, I draw the line there. But
you also, they're all different. It's the ones you think are cool, and the ones you think kind of are, fill out the collection in a way. It's like there's a gajillion Iron Man figures from Iron Man 3. There are 43 in the movie. I think they made 14. And I have 4 of those.
Well, Hot Toys has also released a bunch of Iron Man figures that weren't in any movie. They're just different designs.
Some of those are, and okay, so that's a question too. There's a number of like Marvel figures that are based on concept things. Okay, there's one.
I don't get that.
There's one right now. And is that like,
that one I just so it's a Doctor Strange head on an Iron Man suit, right?
Based on a scene that they didn't do,
right?
So,
which I don't get that at all. They've done that with some Spider-Man.
Cap.
Right?
There's a Cap costume like that. There's another Iron Man suit like that, and I guess I kind of like the what if element to that. That's kind of cool. If I was I don't know. I don't know what it would take to.
Would you buy Haley Atwell as Captain America?
We'll see how I feel after What If.
But will they make it as a cartoon?
Yeah, that's the question.
Or will they make it as a Tom Cruise's girlfriend?
Don't even say it.
Don't even go there.
What's wrong with Tom Cruise? She could do better.
I gotta say that
she could do
having
better.
watched that trailer recently a couple times, it looks really cool. I hope that's as good. I hope that plays out as well on screen as it looks, because I might have to buy that figure. Okay,
you're talking about What If?
I've got an original vision. I had no compulsion to buy the new one, which is slightly tweaked, and the white one, which is a totally different character. I would have to see that like an Avengers film or something like that to know whether
it's in 10 minutes of a series.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to be in a film or something like that, and I'd have to feel something for it to buy it. And that's, I guess that's what it is. It's like it's either representative or it's a touchstone, and or an obsession. I guess.
And they're not making things better; they're just making things different. So it's tough.
I don't know that going there's back a better at this point.
Going back to Mandalorian and Boba Fett for a second. So Boba Fett was in the second season, but they're releasing 4. So there's a single pack of Boba Fett in the old armor coming out. Then there's a double pack of him in the old armor, and then with the black robes with the Jango Fett portrait. Then there's a single version of the repainted armor coming out with the Jango Fett portrait, and then there's a repainted armor with the Jango Fett portrait on the throne. So he was in like 4 episodes of the show. They're releasing 4 versions of that figure. One of them is a 2-pack of figures. So it's 5 figures.
There's a rare group of figures characters that people have a unexplainable affection for. That I got to say, this company probably realizes they just can't go wrong.
Boba Fett's definitely one of them.
What's that? Boba Fett
is definitely one of them.
Harley Quinn is another, but there's this like a Deadpool, where like there's just a niche of people who that's all they're into. And
the book of Boba Fett hasn't even come out yet. They've got 4 versions of this character
there'll be more
before
more
that even hits. Yep.
Boba Fett in his bathrobe. Boba Fett, doing whatever else. But, yeah. It's
well. Let us know if you upgrade, buy multiples. Curious to hear what people do,
or what you're obsessed with. Because there's some of that.
There's some of that. We're clearly not the people to talk about
limits.
No, we just get more and don't.
There's a lot of glass houses here. We should not be throwing stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that's all about. Let us know.
You can never have enough. By the way, did you see they announced the Baron Zemo figure during Sideshow Con?
But again, it's not released yet. I gotta say,
I know it's not released yet. They're just announcing this stuff.
They showed some pictures. They showed some pictures.
Yeah, it's like they do at normal San Diego Comic Con. They show a bunch of stuff, and then over the next few months, they put it up. I'm a little torn on that figure. If
it's 2 heads, 1 masked, and you have a good like loose mask, I would actually consider that figure. There's nothing else from that. I'm not interested in either. I'm not interested in upgrading my Falcon or the new Cap figure at the moment. I'm happy with my Infinity War Bucky. The
thing I was most excited by, and then I realized it was a statue and not a figure. There's a company called Premium Collectibles Studio that Sideshow showed it at their showroom. It's Prince from Purple Rain on his motorcycle in a full Purple Rain costume. It looks amazing. I mean, it might actually be a mixed media thing because it looked like he was wearing cloth, garments, but it looked amazing. I don't know, Dave, if you saw the picture. I'll find a picture and send it to you, but it looked incredible.
I could have him riding his motorcycle next to Cap riding his motorcycle.
Yeah, totally. So here I have. I'm going to text you the picture. I grabbed it and put it on mine.
But let us know what you do. I mean, there's a lot out there. Everyone can't buy everything, and you shouldn't.
And no judgments, people. Seriously.
Yeah, don't judge.
Even if you're judging me right now, no judgments.
A topic that doesn't apply to us at all because we just are ridiculous. That's 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
There's some good 1/6 scale Freddie Mercury's too.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. I'm happy with my Freddie Pop.
Jesus, that looks good. Wow.
I don't see music figures being action figures. I mean,
no, the Jimi Hendrix figure that came out, I'd seen some mixed reviews. Some people raved about it, and some people were on the fence. I almost bought it, but music is tough.
I mean, have a Jimi Hendrix guitar or something. Do you really need an action figure?
No.
Don't judge. Good.
But I would buy this Prince Purple Rain one if it was a figure. I don't know how I feel about it as a statue, but
I gotta say, I've got a case that's got a lot of incongruous.
You can't talk away from the microphone.
I've got a case that's got a lot of really incongruous figures in it. So I'm also kind of drifting towards if I like it. I guess I need that whole case. I have still haven't figured out where to put the creature from the Black Lagoon figure, but it's awesome. I love that. So,
you should put him in a fish tank.
That's what I got to do. I got to get a fish tank, and then I can get an Aquaman figure. What else?
That would be funny. You put all the water figures.
Put all your underwater figures in there.
Aqualad. Do they make Aqualad and Aqualass yet?
I will ultimately have I'm going to take one of the D12 cases, and I'm going to take all the shelves out of it, and I'm just going to have flying and wall crawling figures in it. I've been playing with that idea for a while, and I've got them like that in a couple different cases where I've got one shelf missing and a couple flying figures, but I want to just have like everybody airborne together. So I'll do that eventually. So
you can fill the bottom with water.
I could totally do that.
Okay, so again, let us know what you're doing. Don't think ill of us for just buying too much crap. That's what we do.
This is how this whole thing started in the first place.
Exactly. We're trying to fill a giant hole in our soul.
399 episodes later, this is still a support group. Okay.
Exactly. So. With no one's actually helping anyone get
no one wouldn't have it any other way.
It is like a non-help group. It's just
Well, support doesn't imply help. Support implies support.
We support people buying lots of stuff.
We totally do. and we
encourage
What's wrong with that?
I honestly, we kind of encourage it, and we're happy when people tell us, "Oh, you got me to buy so and so." Good, we did our job.
That makes me feel better because
Hey,
it's happened
there
to
are
us.
far worse vices.
Oh, of course.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So let us know next week.
Big episode.
Something. I don't know what it is.
Episode 400.
We'll let you know.
Believe
Maybe we'll
made
skip next week. Just
Wouldn't it be crazy if we
time.
just went straight to 401 and didn't
We
acknowledge?
should do that. We'll see. But we don't pay. It's really not even 400. We have an A in there, and there's
Yeah, we're probably
there's
more
some,
like 405, 406. But
there's something freaky with the numbering.
it's
so.
a milestone. It
It
what
totally
else?
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Yep.
So we'll let you know. Tune in. We'll see. I don't know.
We should go to 401 but tell people 400's out there, so people will it'll be the lost episode that people will be searching for
That's
and never
right.
be able
Yeah.
to find.
That'll
Extra
keep that'll
special.
keep people up nights.
We could also release episode 0 as episode 400. we've been teasing that
God,
for 8
yeah,
years.
no.
I haven't listened
I'm
to that.
terrified of hearing what that sounds like.
Oh, I went back and re-listened to it not that long ago.
But it's similar to episode 1, isn't it? There's a lot of similar stuff.
We had gotten quite a bit better between episode 0 and episode 1, believe it or not.
Okay, this is a good talk for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure. Maybe that's what we'll talk about.
Maybe.
And if you have any ideas, let us know. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.